So why don't you introduce yourself to
Sure.
our listeners, since many of them that listen to the podcast all the time know who you are, but I'd love to
Oh,
get the word out. You guys have one of the most amazing products, and so excited for the world to learn more about it.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dermy. I'm David Greschler, CEO and co-founder of Nomad Go. And what we do is take what is a dreary, boring, mind-numbing process of manual counting with your fingers and eliminate it with just a wave of a tablet or a phone. And magically, we're able to, with that wave, recognize what's on your shelf, in your make line, in your refrigerator, tucked below the POS, wherever you store inventory, recognize it, and most importantly, count it. Count the row, and then give you instantaneous feedback right as you're scanning to know that, oh, there's 5 bottles of ketchup and it's the 16 ounce or whatever it is versus 12 ounce, right? And then be able to create this effectively digital twin of your inventory, digitize the inventory, and then hit a button and go up to your whatever system you use for inventory, whether it's back office, folks like PAR we integrate with, or people, some of our very large customers have their own inventory systems. So we've built a mechanism to do integration that's really any system on the back end.
Yeah, no, and I think when you guys first came out, I remember having the conversation. I was like, how does this voodoo magic actually work?
Yeah.
Technology is amazing. You talk about the laborious process. Tell me what the world looks like for those that count inventory now. It's mostly hand, and sometimes it's a tablet. Does that kind of, I guess, speak to our audience that's out there that is doing it now prior to Nomad Go, and then let's talk about what the future looks like.
I've seen 3 ways people do it. The most common is paper.
Yeah.
Where they either go find a sheet of paper and fill it out, or they have a piece of paper and it might be part of a sort of shelf to sheet mechanism where they've said, this has to be here, this has to be here, and they go by. The other, of course, is a tablet where they're, instead of writing down, they're typing in. And the third is maybe to help them scan a barcode and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then type
And
it.
count it.
That was the most bleeding edge technology out there.
Yeah.
What we're doing is just getting rid of all
through
that.
the roof. So
Yeah.
talk about, so they're scanning the camera across this inventory shelf. And how does that, is it just not voodoo? It's like, obviously the technology is there. You guys train it to know that's a 16 ounce bottle of ketchup.
Yeah.
Talk me through what that looks like
So-
for those that are coming on board.
So traditionally people have used computer vision, and computer vision will not do the job. Big surprise, right? Computer vision is fundamentally a 2-dimensional technology.
Yeah.
It sees something, a bottle of water, and it recognizes it. And so what can say is, I see a bottle of water. What it can't do is say, I see 5 bottles of waters.
Yeah.
And then what it did, and then it's not the part that actually gives you instantaneous feedback. And in fact, most technologies take a picture of that bottle of water, send it to the cloud, ask some AI system up there, hey, what is this? Oh, it's the bottle of water. And then it pushes it down, right? Where we've innovated is on solving for all those problems. So our technology is really not computer vision per se, it's really spatial vision. We understand the space, we recognize objects, but we also understand the space in 3D. So therefore, that's how we're able to tell you it's not only just a bottle of water, but you have 5 of them.
Yeah. Where did the idea come from? Like, I know a little bit about your background, but for our audience that haven't
The
heard about
idea really came from, we originally had built a fixed camera solution, which if you think computer vision's bad, fixed cameras are maybe the worst. Think about a food service environment, right?
Yeah.
In a pristine world, sure, everything's nice and neat, but I've never been in a back of house that's like that, right? People, restaurants have to conform to the space they're leasing. They might have some cabinets there. They might have things along those lines. They're storing stuff in refrigerators. Putting fixed cameras to try to capture all that is
Next to impossible.
not great. We started there, and then we realized that we'll never scale, and let alone installing cameras, keeping the power on, and monitoring them. So instead, we realized, let's take the device, let's use an iPad, an iPhone, whatever, and take advantage of the compute. So remember how I talked about before, most people use computer vision, they'll maybe take videos, send it to the cloud to be analyzed. We're using the power that's sitting right on those devices. They've got neural networks, they've got GPUs, they've got CPUs. We're taking advantage of all of them so that we can use spatial vision to recognize the count and then use augmented reality to display all of that in real time, which means for operators, no big hardware requirements, just get an iPhone or iPad. And secondly, no network requirements, because we're not sending any imagery over the cloud. We're simply taking the results. Oh, we saw 5 bottles of water, 3 ketchups, and we're just sending that very light piece of data over the cloud.
Love that. What results have you seen? Because one of the things that you and I have been talking about is the fact that inventory is laborious. It's hard. It takes a long time. And so people either half-ass it or they don't do it because it takes so long. So tell me what, now being able to have a solution that can do these kind of things, help me understand, where does it go from? We talked about the tech and how people have done it, but what are you seeing now is happening?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So the initial response people see is that it's 10 times faster, you're counting with your fingers, and it's 99% accurate. And the reason for that is that not only is it really accurate, the AI, but we recognize that there's somebody behind that device. And so we call it the human in the loop component, where right on our screen, if something is wrong, you can change it with your voice, with just a tap of your finger, you can change a number. And so the point is that might take a little more time, but at the end of the day, what do you really care about? You want accurate inventory data.
And not taking 3 days to get it done.
Yes. So here's the interesting thing. Initially, people do this and they go, oh, this is great. I'm going to be able to reassign labor. And they are reassigning labor to other tasks. But what they also realize is, I've never been able to do frequent inventory counts.
Yep.
Now I'm 10 times faster. I could do it instead of 1 time a week, maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah. Or some places don't do it till once a month. And so the results are they're able to do it once a week and get it accurate and not burn their staff out.
Yeah. But this frequency thing turns out to be the real superpower. Because if you're only doing inventory once a week, you've lost the visibility of what's happening during that week. And we all know a lot could happen.
Yeah.
You could get a rush of people coming in, grabbing all your ketchup, and then you don't know. Now you're telling customers, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have ketchup or water or whatever it is. And so this ability to have it more frequently means you're going to have less waste because you're not over ordering. And you're going to have also less out of stocks, which of course leads to loss of sales and unhappy customers. And so the big thing is the fact that what Nomad Go really gives you is more frequent, more up-to-date, and more accurate data so that you're going to have the products you need and not have the products you don't need.
Love that. Last thing, we're at the RLC conference right now when we're recording this. There's a lot of uncertainty in the environment. A lot of people are talking about sales volumes. A lot of people are talking about guest counts being down. How is Nomad Go going to help restaurants to run a more efficient, effective restaurant? When we're looking 60 or 90 days from now, and some of these predictions may or may not have come true, if I'm implementing Nomad Go, how is it going to change my life? Not just better inventory counts, but saving money, making money. Help our listeners understand that.
It gets back to accuracy and frequency, because if your cost of goods are going up, avocados, I thought they were going to cost me $1, they're now going to cost me $1.20 or whatever it is. That's like a bargain these days for avocados. But if everything's going up by 20%, 10%, whatever, that means your waste, the cost of waste has just gone up. So ever more the reason to try to reduce that.
Yep.
Similarly, if you run out of avocados and that customer comes there and now they're not buying from you, now you've lost your cost of sale effectively.
Yeah, you're down, your revenue's down, all of it. Yeah.
So having greater visibility about your inventory on hand means you're not only hitting the bottom line, the top line, and then of course the cost of labor as well.
Yeah, and even being able to do those counts like you said.
Yeah.
How do people learn more? How do people get in touch? What's the path to say, hey, do they need to talk to their back office provider? Are you guys doing direct help? Help our listeners understand what the next path is to learn more. Because it's magic. I'm telling you, you see this stuff and you're gonna be like, no, it's not real. It's not real. I've now gotten a chance to see it live and in person. I am blown away.
It is. Well, thank you. Thank you, Derek. You're one of our greatest fans. I love that. And coming from you,
it's a real problem that you guys are solving. It's huge. I love it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And it's wonderful to solve problems for people, you know?
Absolutely.
Not like, oh, this is nice to have. It's like, no,
this is a huge deal. And it's going to change the world of inventory. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about it. So sorry, I'll let you.
So I would say step one, go to nomadgo.com. You'll be able to see videos. The videos are slower than what it's like in real life. It's unbelievable in real life. The second is contact me. I'm David G. at nomad-go.com. Send me an email and I'll be sure to follow up.
Awesome. Any trade shows that you guys are going to be at? That if people aren't at RLC where we're recording this, but what other shows are you
We're
guys
going to be at FS Tech.
Okay.
So we'll be there. And,
are you guys going to Chicago this year in May? Maybe?
Maybe.
Okay.
We're still figuring that
Still
out.
on the,
So
on the fence.
yeah.
Awesome.
But we're around. Yeah.
It's great to reconnect. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you
Awesome.
very much.